0 out of 10. Next one. Right, lads, today we have Rate My Squads again. Now, I'm in a bit of a salty mood because Knicks aren't doing very well. So, if you have any Atlanta Hawks players, you get an instant 0 out of 10. Sorry, I don't make the rules. I do, but guys, if you do enjoy the video, please drop a like on the video and subscribe to the channel if you guys are brand new. Alright, let's just get into the first team. Alright, we have good old Manu, Alex English, Bailey Howell, Larry Keenan, George Mikan, Luka, RJ, Bobby Jones, Tony Kukoc, and Bobo. RJ. And for some reason, 3 Peyton Pritchard. You couldn't have been thing and done like all 3 series Peyton Pritchards. Sorry, I couldn't send real team on vacation. Cheeky. I have 700 KMT, but I'll transfer it to endgame. Also get in Vince to replace RJ. Excuse me? I put English on the bench. Josh is a go. Well, I don't see Josh Smith in here, so you saved on that one. But overall, decent team. A lot of, obviously, this is basically a free starting 5, right? You can get all these cards for free, which is kind of insane when you think about it. Of course, Luka, you got for free as well. Bobby Jones, Kukoc. A lot of free cards, I'll be honest. Like 8 of your starting 10. Or 8 of your 10 players off free cards potentially. So very solid there. So in terms of like just say don't want to spend any MT, obviously you do have to obviously play the game a lot to get some of these cards. But regardless, they're actually alright. It's actually an alright team. I'll give this a solid 8 out of 10 to be honest. You get RJ in there who brings it down a little bit because he's not playing very well at the moment, is he? Alrighty, we have Luka, Jimmy, Danny Ferry, George Mikan, D-Rob, Nicholas Batum, Corey Maggette. You're one of the first people I've seen run Corey Maggette, so fair. Aaron Gordon, Tony Kukoc, and Jermaine O'Neal. It's a bit of an interesting one. Again, a lot of free cards. Basically, your starting 5 is free cards. Gotta say, props to 2K for all the free cards, because some of these cards are actually amazing. But again, I'd give it, you know, it's kind of hard to rate some of these teams at the moment, because to be honest, D-Rob, I think he has got a bit outdated. You can still use him, don't get me wrong, but I think he has got a bit outdated. The rest of them, I'm kind of like, it's just your standard players now, isn't it? Like Aaron Gordon, Maggette, Jermaine O'Neal, Jimmy Butler. It's just your standard players that you find almost in all the teams now. Nicholas Batum is a bit of a goat, I'm not gonna lie. I'm surprised you're not starting him. Maybe you just prefer Luka. But again, I'd give it a solid 8. I think 8 is sort of like, I might have to like lower the ratings because we're seeing to the point where this is your average team. So maybe this will have to be a 6. But for now, we'll give it an 8. Maybe next week I'll be a bit more harsh on the rating. Alrighty, we have Manu, Demar, Jimmy Butler, Bill Russell, Kristaps Porzingis. He's not playing well either. Mal Crawford, Vince Carr, James Worthy, Bailey Howell, Elgin Baylor, Jerry Lucas, and George Mikan. Now, count the free cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Props to 2K, man. Like, genuinely, props to 2K. Here's the point where this is your average squad. Obviously, Bill Russell, I don't think is your average player, just because it is still very difficult to get him, especially as I can see you're on next gen, on current gen. So if you got this on current gen, props to you, because that is actually insane. You do have Kristaps in there, who I'm a big fan of, so I'm not docking points for that. It's just, is your bench sorted? Your bench isn't sorted, which is very annoying. So please, Adrian, sort the bench out. But again, I give it an 8. I give it a 9 because you do have Bill Russell. Do any of these have Bill Russell? No. All right, I'll give it a 9 because you do have Bill Russell. Obviously, he is quite a difficult card to get. So GG, man. All right, we have Brian. Brian, why is your photos always at an angle? It's very strange, but Steph, Tyreek, James Worthy, Amari. This is my Pacific team. This is for fun. I was about to say Amari Stoudemire. I was about to say Chris Kaman, Jerry West, Corey Maggette, Eddie Johnson, Chris Webber, Wilt Clay, Michael Cooper, and Mitch Richmond. This is a very hard team to rate because it is your fun team, where you're running Amari Stoudemire and Chris Kaman. Do I have to give this a 6? Because you have some decent players in here. Obviously, Steph, Tyreek. Why is not running Tyreek at the 1 and maybe Steph off the bench? Your point guards are very small, I have noticed. So I'll probably give it a 6. Obviously, I know it's your fun team, but I mean, it's not. If you're running an Amethyst and it's not Muggsy Bogues, yeah. So I'd probably give it a 6. All right, Kobe, PG, Danny Ferry, Kristaps, Shaq, Luka, Julius, Larry Keenan, Mikan, and Christian Wood. Kobe at the 1, big fan of. Paul George, Danny Ferry, big fan of. The starting 5, I think, is a 10 out of 10. The starting 5 is really strong. The bench is still really strong as well, but it's just the thing is, it's getting to the point where this is your average team. Obviously, you're seeing the Luka Doncic, like every single team. Obviously, I have him as well in my team, so you know, he's just your average amazing point guard. So, do I give you points for having Luka, because he is still one of the best point guards in the game? or is he your average point guard, but he's still phenomenal? So a little tricky on that one. Obviously, you've done your triple threat online, I think, for Christian Wood. So GG on that one. Now give us a solid 8.5, just because you do have Chris Stapps, you do have some of the big boy players in Danny Ferry, Kobe Bryant, obviously still very strong card. Dr. J, I'm actually a big fan. I would actually probably start Dr. J. I do prefer Dr. J over Paul George, but overall, very solid team. You guys are just knocking it out of the park with these teams. All right, I have to put this one in here just because, just look at it. Derrick Rose, Obi Toppin, Julius, Charlie Wood, Patrick, JR, RJ, Frank. You had to put Alfred in there. Quickly, Mitchell Robinson, I miss you. Nerlens Noel, and Taj Gibson. You could have at least put them in the right positions. That's all I'm saying. Do I give this a 10 out of 10? I think I have to. Actually, I'll give it a 9.9 because they're not in the right positions. But either way, I do appreciate the effort. Generally, I was quite expecting, now that I look at this, to have one Hawks player. Have like Trae Young in here or something. All right, next team. Grant Hill, Elgin Baylor, TJ Warren. Got TJ Warren done. Nice. George Mikan, Chris Bosh, Jason Williams. Okay, fair enough. JR, Tony Kukoc, Christian Wood, and Bol. I dropped Jason Williams, chuck JR the one, and get any other two. Any other two, God. Because Jason Williams is just not great, man. You have 1 million MT. Splash it. Obviously, you're 10K away from getting thing. Obviously, you posted this on the 29th. We're currently on the 31st. You probably have Vince Carter by now. So hopefully just Jason Williams is nowhere near your team. It's just your average starting lineup now. Elgin Baylor obviously is very nice. So I give you like a +1 for that. But again, Bobo, you see it. Bosch, you see it. Like you see, obviously Grant Hill, still a very strong point guard. He's still quite expensive, to be honest. It's really hard. To be fair, I'd have to dock the point for Jason Williams just because not that great, is he? He's really not that great. I give us a 7. Again, it's kind of hard to rate. It's getting difficult to rate new teams now because everyone's team is literally insane. But you have to put it's getting hard to where you have to put the great teams as your average team. That's what they're slowly turning into now, unfortunately. Oh, you done messed up. 0 out of 10. Next one. All right, I'll give it a proper rating, but you do get a 0 out of 10. Jimmy, Danny, Bill Russell, Chris Stapps, Manu, TJ, James Worthy, Christian Wood, Bobo. To be fair, right, Josh Smith is a good card in the game, but I'm in a salty mood right now, so you get a 0 out of 10. But overall, it is a nice team. All right, Tyreek, Vince, Thon. God damn, this team's quite nice, actually. Thon, Bill Russell, James Wiseman, Luca, Jimmy, James, Tony Kukoc, Bobo, Manu, Christian Wood, and Buddy Hield. Right, where do we start here? So, he's got 900k, almost at 1 million MT, pleased with my team, and I'm trying to save it for future use. My team. I think that's smart. I think especially now that we're on the last week of the season, I do think that is. Again, you're seeing a Thormaker I'm a big fan of. Bill Russell, big fan of. Wiseman, still a very strong card in the game. I just think Luca might have to... I just don't think I have to take into account Luca anymore. Because you just see him in every single team. Like, obviously, Luca, surprisingly no Luca. Take a shot for basically every Luka Doncic you see. So that might have to be the theme for the next episode. Who knows? Overall though, I still think it's a solid team. I do think it is a solid team. You can do a lot with this team. Tyreek Evans, obviously a very tall point guard. Vince, I think he is. I'd probably start Jimmy Butler over Vince. Maybe you just want more offense on your bench, so Vince is there as sort of like your catch and shoot kind of guy. Thormaker, big fan of. Bill Russell, very big fan of. Just because you have Bill Russell and you have Thormaker, I think you're missing like maybe a taller point guard like your Giannis, like your LeBron, like your Ben Simmons, for example. But obviously, if you're waiting till next season, I can definitely see why you would do that. Overall, though, I think it's a very solid team. A very solid team. So I would give it... I'll give it a 9, because why not? Alright then, boys, that's going to be it for the episode. If you guys want to be in potentially a future episode, I tweet out basically on Saturday, send me your teams. I kind of teased Giannis, because I was like, if you have Giannis, you get a 10 out of 10. But then the Knicks kind of just fell apart. So, yeah, only one Hawks player. So, unfortunately for that guy, you get a 0 out of 10. But overall, if you guys want to be in a future episode, obviously link to my Twitter in the description. I tweet it out on Saturday. Send me your teams. And we either post it on Sunday or Monday. And it just depends. So that's it for the video. If you guys have enjoyed, smash like on the video. It does help the channel a ton. Subscribe to the channel if you guys are brand new around here. See you guys later. Take care. Give a massive shout out to channel members Kev, Ant, Waze, Hans, Lewis, Wallow, Casey, Magic Magpie, Michael, Mario Santos, Kia, Jack Lane, Lindsay, Knell, and Josh's mum. Thank you guys so much for all your support.